ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಾನು ವೀರಭದ್ರಯ್ಯ ದೇಮಯ್ಯ ಗೋಪನಹಳ್ಳಿ, ದ್ಯಾಮಪ್ಪನ ಮಗ. ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಜೀವಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕಲೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಶಾಲೆ ಗೋಪನಹಳ್ಳಿ ನೌಕರರ ಸಂಘದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮೂರಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಾಗಿ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ಕೋವಿಡ್-19 ಜಾಗರೂಕರಾಗಿರಿ, ಮಾಸ್ಕನ್ನು ಧರಿಸಿ, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅಂತರವನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೈಸೇಷನ್, ಕೈಗಳನ್ನು ಸೋಪಿನಿಂದ ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತೊಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆದಷ್ಟು ದಂಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಳಬೇಡಿ. ಯುಗಾದಿ ಹಬ್ಬದ ವಿಶೇಷಗಳನ್ನು ಕ್ರಮಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕರವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಯುಗಾದಿ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಜೀವಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೆಲ್ ಬಯಾಲಜಿ, ಸೆಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್, ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ ನಂತರ ನಾವೀಗ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯೋಣ. Cell is broadly divided into cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. My dear friends, cell biology, structure and function of the cell is very important in the biological studies, particularly cell biology. The broad divisions are cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. My dear friends, here in the cell membrane, what is the function of the cell membrane? The second one is cytoplasm. What is the function of cytoplasm? And nucleus, what is the function of nucleus? This is the very important things in the forthcoming classes we are going to discuss for your kind information. Well, cell organelles, cytoplasm, cell membrane and nucleus. Cell membrane, the outermost layer of the cell, as I told you in the previous class, then cytoplasm, then your nucleus, the microorganisms. My dear friends, now we will have a brief discussion about the cell biology. Is a branch of biology studying the structure and function of the cell known as the basic unit of life. Cell consists of, as I told you, different types of things: cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. The nucleus is having DNA, lysosome, ribosome, mitochondrion, Golgi apparatus, etc. Let us discuss in detail. Well, cell, main division, cell membrane number 1, number 2, cytoplasm, number 3, nucleus. Observe the slides carefully, my dear friends. This is the figure you have to draw a diagram, neat diagram of cell. Only this much is sufficient in the examination. This is the examination of point of view, and this is the academic point of view. Academic point of view is knowledge purpose. Examination point of view, only this much you have to remember, practice these things. Okay, now see, cell membrane. Let us have a brief discussion about the cell membrane, which is the outermost layer of the cell. The cell membrane, also known as the plasma membrane, is a double layer of lipids and proteins. It is a double layer. That means outer layer as well as inner layer. Double layer means a membrane, you should have a double layer outer membrane and the inner membrane. In between, so many things are there. That's called layer of lipids and proteins that surrounds a cell. It separates the cytoplasm, that is the contents of the cell, from the external environment. It is the future of all cells, both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. These prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells we will discuss in a separate class. In the forthcoming classes, we will have a prokaryotes and eukaryotes. What are those things? What are the difference between those two and all? We will discuss about the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell in the next classes. But now, we will have a brief study about the cell membrane. This is the cell membrane, the microscopic organism of the outer layer of the cell. Cells can also deliver substances across the cell membrane to the external environment through exocytosis. Exocytosis. Cytosis is a process. It is a osmotic. It is almost osmosis. What is almost osmosis, my dear friends? Osmosis is a process, a biological process from higher concentration to lower concentration. Flow of nutrients or flow of solvents or flow of solutes or flow of any chemical things or flow of any solution which flows from higher concentration to a lower concentration is called osmosis through semi-permeable membrane. Well, here they merge with the membrane and release their contents to the outside of the cell. That is called exocytosis. Removes the cell's waste products. During the process, biochemical process, the waste products will be removed, which are the parts of molecules that are not used by the cell, including wood organelles. This is the cell membrane, function of the cell membrane. You see here, this is the cell membrane. The molecules are entering into this one from higher conditions outside the cell. This is vesicle. This is all cytoplasm. Well, the structure of the cell membrane, that is phospholipid bilayers. I told you bilayer. The cell membrane is made up of a phospholipid bilayer. This is, you see, this is a phospholipid bilayer. This part, this is one outer layer, and this is the inner layer. Phospholipid bilayer. Cell membrane is having bilayered phospholipid. What is phospholipid? Phospholipid consists of hydrophilic head, hydrophilic tail. That is the cell which moves through the semi-permeable membrane. Now this phospholipid, it is having hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail. Now these are the very important structure of outside the membrane and inside the membrane. This is the layer, phospholipid bilayer cell. It consists of integral protein, protein channel, cholesterol, peripheral protein, hydrophobic alpha helix protein, and glycoprotein on the surface on the top of the globular protein, and carbohydrate chain. So these are the important things to know about the structure of cell membrane. The cell membrane is made up of a phospholipid bilayer, as I told you. Phospholipids are the liquid molecules made up of phosphate group head and two fatty acid tails. This is the hydrophilic head and the two hydrophobic tails. This is the phospholipid structure. Then you see this double-layered membrane. Importantly, the properties of phospholipid molecules allow them spontaneously form a double-layered membrane. The phosphate group head of the phospholipid is hydrophilic, whereas the phospholipid tail is hydrophobic, as I told you. This means that the phospho group is attached to water, whereas the tail is repelled by water. Tail is repelled by water. This phospho head is towards the water. So therefore, when in water or in aqueous solution, including inside the body, The hydrophobic heads of phospholipids will orient themselves to be on the inside as far away from the water as possible. In contrast, the hydrophilic heads will be on the outside, making contact with the water. The result is that a double layer of phospholipid is formed, with the hydrophobic heads clustering together in the center and the hydrophilic tails forming the outside of the structure. The technical term for this double layer of phospholipids that form the cell membrane is phospholipid bilayer. This is the phospholipid bilayer. Try to remember the terminology phospholipid bilayer. So phospholipid is a molecule consists of the head is a hydrophilic head and two tails which are the hydrophobic tail. So this cell membrane, which is the outermost layer of the cell. See, this is the cell membrane. This is the outermost layer of the cell. This is also called as plasma membrane. In the inside the plasma membrane, you can find so many organelles like mitochondria, which is the part of the cell, peroxisome, rough endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, vacuoles, centrosomes, microtubules, lysosomes, Golgi bodies or Golgi operators, Golgi vesicle, cytoplasm, and chromatin, nucleolus, and nucleus. These are the highly microscopic cell organelles which are very essential to the human body, particularly animal life. This is a cell membrane. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel BDSM Academy, a school of arts and science. This is the school and college science, particularly cell biology. I am Veerbhadra Demaya. Contact my mobile 9663828848. Thank you. Take care of the COVID-19 Corona. Keep social distance. Sanitize periodically your hands and use mask. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗೋಣ.